Unit 4, Company Performance.
Audio 21.1. A,
0.25,
B,
100,
C,
130,
D,
401,
E,
1,840,
F,
23,687,
G,
489,592,
H,
4,427,309,
I,
12,201,382,
J.
8 billion.
Audio 21.2. A,
€68 and 39 cents.
B,
$298 and 38 cents.
C,
£5,493 and 93 pence.
D,
The 3rd of June 2015. The 3rd of June 2015.
E,
March 6th, 2015. March 6th, 2015.
F,
49%.
G,
100%.
H,
Telephone 01273 566 934.
I,
66 kilometers per hour.
J,
A quarter.
K,
A third.
L,
A half.
M,
3/4.
N.
A tenth.
Audio 21.3.
16, 60. 13, 30. 14, 40. 15, 50. 17, 70. 18, 80. 19, 90.
Listening.
Audio 21.4. 1,
The average share price in March was 386 Japanese yen.
2,
In April, unemployment went down by 486,000.
3,
Sales went up in the last quarter to 146,500.
4,
They put up the price by $5.
5,
There was a drop of 13% in the number of new orders.
6,
269 divided by 2 equals 134.5.
7,
2/3 of customers in the taste test thought our product was the best.
8,
You're driving too fast.
No, I'm not. I'm going at 130 kilometers per hour.
Yes, but the speed limit's 120 kilometers per hour.
Module 4.1.
I'm sorry to say that sales last month were rather disappointing. Let me start by showing you some figures. Now, if you look at Graph A, you can see that sales of home improvement supplies rose slightly to just over $3 million. Graph B shows that in the stationery section, sales remained constant at $1.8 million. As for household appliances, you can see in Graph C that sales fell sharply from $3.2 million to $1.7 million. However, I have some good news. As you can see in Graph D, cosmetics sales rose sharply last month from $1.5 million to $4 million. Now let's look at the figures in more detail.
Audio 22.1.
Role-play example.
So, as you can see from the bar graph, the launch of our BZ1 wasn't a huge success at the start of the year. We sold only 30,000 models in January, and sales remained steady at this level in February. However, we all know that motorbike sales are seasonal, and with the improved weather in March, they increased by more than 100% to 80,000. There was more good news in April, when they went up again by 20,000. But then something went wrong. May was very disappointing, as there was a fall of 50% to 50,000. And again in June, when sales fell from 50,000 to 20,000, the lowest figure of the year. Why did this happen, and what can we do about it? Audio 22.2.
Sales went up by 10%. Production went down on average. There was a fall in the figures. Sales increased in January. Percentages remained stable at 6%. Module 4.3. Role-play example.
And now news on one of this year's most successful motor companies. Go Green Cars, which employs 22,500 people around the world, has increased its sales by 2.75% since last year. That might not sound like a lot, but it represents 1/3 of the market for zero-emission cars, and even more impressively, they sell 78% of all the world's hydrogen-powered cars. But they aren't cheap. Their top-of-the-line Go Gold costs $75,000.
Module 4.4. Role-play example.
What is the most important thing when you are buying a car?
Well, there are lots of factors. Let's start by looking at the price.
Well, the Mazda is more expensive than the Hyundai.
Yes, but the Honda is the most expensive of the three cars. What about emissions? The Hyundai is greener than the Honda.
And the Mazda is the greenest of the three cars.
Module 4.5. Role-play example.
Thank you for coming, everyone. I'd like to talk to you today about the latest sales figures for March this year compared with March last year. As you can see from the chart, there are big differences between the different brands and the different models. First of all, I'd like to show you the figures for Toyota. If you look at the figures for the Prius, you'll see that sales went up from 100 to 130, so they rose by 30%. That's quite impressive. As you know, people want greener cars, and that's why the Prius is very popular, and these are its best sales figures ever. The other Toyota models were okay, but sales of the Camry fell by about 5%. They went down from 60 to 57 this year. Now let's take a look at
Listening. Track 53. 4.
I'd like to give you some information about our sales performance for the years 2003 to 2007. If you look at these graphs, you will see that sales in 2003 were just over $4 million. In 2004, sales rose slightly to $4.5 million. In 2005, we had a good year. Our sales rose to $5.3 million. That means we sold 545,000 units. But in 2006, sales fell sharply. If you remember, in 2006, we introduced a new computer system, which caused a few problems. Business improved again in 2007. We increased sales in every market, especially in Asia. Sales increased in Taiwan, Japan, and Malaysia, but the biggest increase was in Thailand. 2007 was a good year for our markets in Eastern Europe, where sales rose from 10% to 38% by the end of the year. Our delivery time has also improved. 85% of our orders are now delivered in 5 days. Sales figures for 2008 should be available shortly, but the signs are that it was a good year. As you know, we introduced a new internet service for clients in 2008, and it's been a great success. Well, that's all. If there are any questions,